Hey everybody, Marcel Irnie Racing News, recording live here at Lake Havasu on the Bureau of Land Management here, sitting at a fire. Today we're talking about CNN admits they are a propaganda network. And here you have, see guys, we started a fire here before the sunset happens. We got the Duramax white whale, and there's the sun. It's gonna slowly drop, so fantastic time to do some news at the fire. I'm still sick here for a while, but let's take it off here. Let's take it off. So, CNN admits they're a propaganda network. CNN admitted that the Israeli government censors its coverage of the war on Gaza. Is it any wonder that trust in the media continues to plummet? CNN confirmed to The Intercept that it submits its coverage of the war for review to CNN's Jerusalem Bureau. That bureau is subject to the rules of the Israel Defense Forces censor, which dictates subjects that are off limits for news organizations to cover and censors articles it deems unfit or unsafe to print, according to The Intercept. Israel has strict rules for media censorship. Critics of Israel have historically turned to poetry and theater to criticize the government because they know that their channels of communication are sparse and heavily policed. Yeah, let's do some theater. It's like the memes world, right? That's the new theater. That's all we can do is memes. But CNN doesn't have to censor itself for a U.S. audience. Why would they elect to? This violates journalistic ethics of independent coverage. Another example of media manipulation is this Wall Street Journal article on why the Ukrainian counteroffensive failed. It is chock full of lies. It says that Ukraine repelled a Russian assault in Kiev. That's false. Russia did not attack Kiev, but voluntarily withdrew in early 2022 due to peace negotiations that Ukraine would later renege. It also indicates that Ukraine may have won the counteroffensive, but did not, because the West had dithered for months over the provisions of tanks and other armored vehicles, so the Russians were ready. That is also misleading. Ukraine never had a prayer of retaking the Donbass region, and the article fails to note that the region that Ukraine wants back voted to join Russia, because they had been under attack by the Ukrainian army prior to 2022 Russia operations since 2014, since the 2014 coup instigated by Victoria Nuland of the USA. Wild, huh? Just wild. So here's the article that was referring to since 2014 after the coup, when the Ukrainian military was started bombing the people of Donbass in the east, who are Ukrainian. They live in Ukraine, but they have a Russian descent, and they speak Russian. And then they were told they can't speak their native language, and they were bombing them. So during war between 2014 and 2021 in East Ukraine, more than 14,000 people were killed, including nearly 3,400 civilians. Civilians accounted for 89% of explosive weapon casualties, according to a report by the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. Injuries caused by explosive weapons are complex, difficult to heal, may cause lifelong pain or discomfort, and often lead to permanent disabilities. The psychological trauma due to bombing can also affect the entire population. Bombing and shelling in populated areas damage and destroy civilian infrastructure. Yes, hospitals, water supply, etc. There is no such thing as a surgical strike. Oh, actually, guys, I'm getting smoked out. We'll continue this another time. But anyways, CNN propaganda. I gotta attend to the fire. Irnieracing News, guys. See you later.